and welcome to You Write, the podcast where creativity meets community.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
Each week on You Write, we challenge our listeners to write a story in just 30 minutes, using 3 of 5 randomly generated words.
It's a fun and fast-paced exercise to spark your imagination and get those creative juices flowing.
We'll read your submissions, offer feedback, and discuss the unique twists and turns of each story.
So whether you're an aspiring author or just love a good tale, You Write is your place to explore the endless possibilities of storytelling.
So grab a toothpick and some watercolors, get comfortable, and let's dive into this week's stories.
And remember, the only limit is your imagination and 30 minutes. So let's see what you got.
Woo!
Woo!
Yar!
Well, how you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I did something really, really crazy on Friday.
That doesn't sound like you at all.
I know.
Huh.
I know. And I'm mentioning it now because I would mention it anyway, but also it's relevant to this show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I bought a one-way ticket to Istanbul.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, for May 4th.
Dang, dog. When you going?
May 4th.
Oh, wow. Like soon.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Close.
What prompted? Why Istanbul? I mean, you've told me of your infatuation with Turkey.
Oh, Istanbul.
Yeah.
I mean, Turkey, but Istanbul in particular. It's the best place on earth, in my opinion.
Right on.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I hope to come back, but I mean, I'm going to come back.
Okay. So you can't just leave me hanging like that. That's not right.
But I did buy a one-way ticket because I couldn't afford the coming back ticket.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So,
yeah, one way.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
You got a credit card.
actually, no, I don't. I've never had a credit card.
Well, maybe the time.
Maybe, but yeah, I thought it would be fun, and well, I was planning to go to Georgia anyway for Mother's Day, which is May 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of my friends messaged me randomly and was like, "Hey, you want to go to Istanbul on May 4th?" And I was like,
Oh, so you're not flying solo?
"Oh, I am."
Oh.
She's flying from somewhere else.
Oh, but
She doesn't live here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you'll have a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I mean, the first time I went there, it was solo.
Well,
and it
yeah,
was
I wasn't
magical.
worried about you going solo, but
Yeah. And so I was like, yeah. And so, yeah, that's what's happening. Oh, and so I'm going to Istanbul, and then the plan is that I will buy a ticket to Atlanta.
and I see, and fly to
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta from Istanbul.
Right.
That would probably be a cheaper ticket than flying all the way back here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I bought the ticket from Houston to Istanbul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just one way from Houston to Istanbul.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
a long flight.
12 hours.
That's not as bad as I thought.
I mean,
I always misjudge how big the Atlantic is.
mhm.
I'm thinking it's the same size as the Pacific. It's not.
right.
Because, yeah, to get just across the Pacific, I think is like 10 or 11 hours
Yeah.
from coast to coast, I think.
Yeah. So this is 12 hours. The longest flight I've ever taken was like 13 and a half hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm super excited.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll have to discuss the schedule for those episodes.
Right. That episode.
That's just one?
Just one.
Yeah, because if you go to Atlanta, because that's a
Well, it's
Sunday.
during a week. It's just, I'm leaving on Sunday. I'm flying out on May 4th, which is Sunday. And then the goal is to be back in Lubbock by the following Monday.
Which would be the 12th.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
No. Yes.
Yeah, because Sunday the 11th is Mother's Day.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, on Saturday the 3rd, I'm going to drive to Houston. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then, and of course my boyfriend lives there. So I will spend the night there. And then Sunday I will fly to Istanbul. And then on that Thursday, I will fly from Istanbul to Atlanta.
On Thursday? Oh, okay.
I think so.
The 8th?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Probably. But
we'll see.
And then in Atlanta airport, I will rent a car and I will drive to where my family lives. And then I will be there until, during Mother's Day, I can leave, later in the day because I plan for and hope for my flight to be later in the day. Although I don't know that yet.
Right. Yeah.
But I'll go to the airport in the afternoon, let's say on Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will fly to Houston. And then I will spend the night. And then on Monday, I will drive from Houston to Lubbock.
It's quite a bit of travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
I know. What about you? What's going on with you?
Oh, actually, I had a thought earlier. Have you seen the movie Waking Life?
No.
It's directed by Richard Linklater, I think. It's a very strange movie. It's presented like a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Like a guy is just going around interviewing people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the style of the movie is they film everything and then they go over the film and paint the film. So it's like animated.
Oh.
Ish. It's very...
That sounds cool.
It's very unique. Yeah, Waking Life. But there's a quote in there from somebody. He says, there are two kinds of people.
Uh-huh.
People who have an overabundance of life or a lack of life. And for the longest time, I never really put myself in the category of having an overabundance of life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always felt like I can always take on more.
Yeah.
Like it's never been too much.
Mm-hmm.
And like as of recent, I really do feel like I have a genuine abundance of life. Like there's so much going on.
Yeah.
It's just there's just so many things. This podcast included.
Yes.
But,
you mean you got an abundance or an overabundance?
I would say just an abundance.
Okay.
Like it's just very full and
your cup is full.
Yeah, it really does feel pretty full.
Uh-huh.
So it's been very gratifying.
Yay.
But at the same time, it's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Right.
But it's been fun. Recently, actually just yesterday, I had the distinct pleasure of playing Minecraft for the first time in like, God, it's at least 10 years.
Wow.
I think it's probably closer to like 15 years, but
yeah.
It's humbling to playing with other people. Like our friends are playing Minecraft, and I'm just like in the back like, how do you make sticks? I
want to play Minecraft. I've actually never played, but my nephew has been obsessed with it for years.
It's fun. Again, it's been so long that I needed a dramatic refresher course, and it's changed tons since last time I played. Mm-hmm. But it's fun. Mm-hmm. We just hop on our little Discord server and just play because it's like you can do like a group chat, like voice chat or whatever.
That sounds like fun. I was in a meeting at work the other day, and one of my coworkers said something that was so dumb because the topic of Minecraft came up, and she was like, "Yeah, like hopefully they improve their graphics soon."
So dumb.
I was like, "You idiot,
ignorant."
I was like, "You idiot! That's the whole point. It's supposed to be like vintage graphics."
Well, and it's all designed to be 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter cubes.
Yeah.
Everything fits
it's like
in
that on purpose. It's not because they're lagging in technology.
Oh, yeah. Oh, modded Minecraft can look extremely realistic. It's wild. But the resources that it requires is insane.
Yeah.
It's like people will get these machines, like video editors or like high resolution image editors. Like they have these machines to render these really extravagant digital photographs and things.
Oh, wow.
It's nuts, but it's like they will use a machine like that and it can run for a few seconds before it gets like too hot and it shuts it down but it's like photorealistic. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Would you say all our stories?
I did.
And who did we decide to read this week?
I believe that we decided that you would read NickedYou.
Yes. And I am pulling up the story.
The Roommate.
The Roommate. So yeah, I will be reading The Roommate by NickedYou.
Mm-hmm.
Serenity Fane, do you understand what is happening? No, the woman said quietly. You are being remanded to the custody of the Platinum Peak sect. Do you understand this? Jasmine asked again, patiently. No, Serenity said again. It was ruled that you committed a murder due to outside conditions that should have been accounted for by your local government. In turn, the sect should have advised your local government better. So, responsibility for you and your crimes falls to the sect itself. We will be taking you in and providing you room and board for the duration of your rehabilitation. Rehabilitation? She asked. Yes, an expert will be helping you adapt to living so you do not do this again, and so you can make up for the harm you've done. I can't, she said, voice squeaking, eyes cast down. She looked frail. I killed him. And oh, my son, what will become of him? Part of your rehabilitation will be finding work to ensure your son can live his own life. The woman's gaze bolted up, and she almost looked ready to hug Jasmine before remembering that Jasmine was a cultivator. I don't deserve this, she wept. I don't deserve kindness. That is no longer for you to decide, Jasmine said gently. Serenity just nodded in response. The woman was put on a wagon drawn by a horse which Jasmine purchased in town. It would be a slow journey back to the sect, keeping to a pace that would not exhaust the horse or hurt the mortal riding it. Doriel sat on the back of the wagon, watching behind for any threats and keeping an eye on our new prisoner, while I sat in the front with Jasmine. I spoke at the lowest volume I could, audible to her but not to Serenity over the clop of the horse. What will her rehabilitation entail? I asked. This is for the expert to decide. And who is the expert? I asked. Another cultivator? No. Cultivators are too volatile in temperament, on average, and too detached from the concerns of mortals. The man is someone Swun once worked with. No, actually, he passed some years ago. It would be the man's apprentice, whoever it is. Do you have any guesses at what she will be doing? Work is always part of it, to help pay for the damage done, get her used to dealing with people. I recall meditation being useful for some. I nodded. You were showing interest. I remember the Broken Mountains sect in Eatselsport. They took in many criminals to rehabilitate, and the methods varied. Ah, yes, I've heard how it works in cities. The connected are given a cushy respite and a light sentence. The unwanted are given menial labor. I will not tell you that the Platinum Peak sect is especially better, but Swun's favor speaks to our expert's character and skill. Do you know his name? I asked. No, but I can find it. Do you wish to follow Serenity's case? I think I do. I wasn't just altruistic, as much as I would like to be. I wanted to reconcile the small and timid woman I saw with the violence she had done. But I did want to see how someone violent could be returned to peace, rather than falling further down the gutter. Where will she be staying? At the sect? There are chambers for similar cases, but they are often full. I saw the quirk of Jasmine's lips. And where do subjects of rehabilitation stay when their designated chambers are full? Very often, they share a residence with our initiates, she said, smiling. And I knew Swun cared about rehabilitation, so our prisoner was likely my new roommate.
Excellent.
Excellent, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like this one.
Yeah, okay, so let's just dive right in.
Go for it.
Okay, I am interested in I think we still don't know what exactly how the society functions. So it wasn't that necessarily just that Serenity Fane committed murder. It was that she committed a murder due to outside conditions that should have been accounted for by the local government.
Right, yeah. And yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, whenever it says due to outside conditions, that almost makes me think that murder is okay if it's like premeditated and planned out in a more meticulous way. Whereas if you just like lose control, like due to outside conditions, that's what it makes me think of. But then the part about that should have been accounted for by your local government, I don't know how that would fit in there.
Well, I believe it was the noise pollution was the aspect that was not accounted for during the original trial, and so it's for whatever reason that pushes it to the platinum peak. The way I kind of read that, because we've gone back and forth about the murder aspects of this society. I have a feeling there's a delineation between the platinum peak and its immortals and the mortals. Like it seems like there are laws governing the mortals, but those laws I doubt govern the immortals. Right. And all of the murder that we've witnessed so far has been at the hands of these immortals. So that's more the delineation that I got from it. So I'm going to attribute that to what's being spoken here, I guess.
Right. I love it that they sentenced her to rehabilitation.
Yes.
That made me happy because I'm all about second chances and rehabilitation. Yeah,
and just based on what little clues that we get about what that may look like, sounds like it's a genuine rehabilitation. It's not like conditioning or anything like that. It's not like
or like taking lame, pointless classes,
or like a Clockwork Orange at the end where it's like like brainwashing or whatever, something like that. But because she mentions meditation being useful in other places, but and we also get a few little tidbits about the difference between this small town and cities as well. So that continues to be a through line between the previous entries. So there were, there's two lines near-ish the top. Actually, sorry, let me back up. The third paragraph.
Yes.
You are being remanded to the custody of the Platinum Peak sect. Do you understand this? Jasmine asked again patiently. I think that's a really deft way to get us back into these characters. Because you're bringing up not only Jasmine, who was recently introduced, but you're also putting Platinum Peak in front of us. So I just think that having her say, no, I don't understand, and then forcing Jasmine to come out and just say it outright gives you a textual reason to just inform us in this, since we're doing this on a weekly basis, that this is the story that we're back in. So I thought that was really well done.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I also appreciate that it's no both times. She does not understand. So that again gives you a reason to further explain the situation to the reader under this guise that she doesn't understand.
That's true. That's a really good point. It's a good way of like bringing it up in a natural way. Yeah. Rather than just having a like more contrived conversation.
Right. It's very simple. Do you understand? No, I don't.
Yeah.
And that also goes even beyond that, just from the calling out information to the reader in a natural way.
Yeah.
It also further informs us of this disconnect between just the average person and these laws and the sect. Like there's a big disconnect because she has she doesn't understand. So it's not common knowledge.
Right.
So yeah.
And she's probably in shock too.
Yeah.
So I just like it how she's like, at first she thinks she's getting a bad punishment. 'Cause she's like, I can't, I killed him and my son, what will become of him? And then she's like, oh no, part of your rehab will be finding work to ensure your son can live his own life. And it's almost like, that's like really good news, you know?
Yeah.
Like this is actually a helpful thing.
Her. Yeah. And just by her reaction, the woman's gaze bolted up and looked as she almost looks ready to hug Jasmine before remembering that Jasmine was a cultivator.
Yeah.
This is all very dense.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of nuance and there's a lot happening within each of these statements and the narrative interjections. It's just a lot of it is doing double duty. It's not just a declaration of something. It's informing us about character traits or character development or plot or this culture. Like it's very dense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the mercy aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I don't deserve this. I don't deserve kindness. Like she is basically just she's admitting guilt.
Right.
But you can see that it's just killing her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's very well described through her words, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like I don't deserve this, she wept. I don't deserve kindness.
Mm-hmm.
This is no longer for you to decide. That is wonderful. I loved that.
That's probably the most powerful statement of the whole story, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like whether or not you feel like you deserve it is now irrelevant.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, very cool. Especially with regards to kindness.
Yes.
I don't deserve this. That is no longer for you to decide.
Yeah, it's like this kindness is being forced on you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and this puts the sect in a light that we haven't seen, because so far they've been quite cruel.
Pretty savage.
Yeah, savage people. And yeah, whatever their motivations are, we have no idea. Like, why are they so eager and willing to commit to this level of rehab for Serenity Fane?
Yeah, for just a seemingly meek and insignificant person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To what end, I wonder. But I am just very intrigued by this. Like, it just keeps getting more and more intriguing. And I like the idea that this is a murder mystery, because it is a mystery. Like, how could this woman, this character, Serenity Fane, just based on what we've read so far, how could she possibly commit murder?
And that's what the point of view character says later.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they're interested. Arquin,
yes,
I believe.
I want to know how this woman could do this.
Yeah. And so she's intrigued as well. So yeah.
And I also like the idea of the prisoner being the roommate of Arquin. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's a great way to leave it too.
Right.
So we're going to get a lot more time between them, it sounds like.
And I also like that simply because of my own like bent towards you know, not isolating people or segregating them like we do with prisoners.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not human. They're
animals.
They're animals. They can't mingle with, you know, humans.
Yeah.
And so I just really, really like this.
I do too. Yeah. It has a very positive message. And cultivators. It's just, by the end of this, I'm just very, very curious about what a cultivator's responsibility is. But again, we don't really have much perspective in the Platinum Peak.
We don't, but it almost seems like their role is to somehow shape and mold these humans.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like emissaries for.
Yeah. Which kind of just suddenly reminded me of Prometheus, who shaped the humans out of clay from the beginning, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is strikingly similar.
It is.
Yeah, and the Platinum Peak, it's very Mount Olympus.
It is. Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, the paragraph, I wasn't just altruistic as much as I would like to be. I wanted to reconcile the small and timid woman I saw with violence she had done. So kind of going back to that curiosity, like it's not about proving that she is not capable of murder or what. It's just like, I have to reconcile how this person is able to commit that level of violence.
Right.
And further it goes on, but I did want to see how someone violent could be returned to peace rather than falling further down the gutter.
I love that.
That's great.
This is almost like a commentary on the prison system. I was going to say American, but it's that way in so many countries.
Yeah.
It's just like, to send them further down the gutter, you put them with only other criminals, you know?
Yeah.
It's like where they say, people say that prison is like criminal university or something.
Oh, yeah, and you just become more criminalistic.
Oh, well, exactly, because you are like the company what is the term? The company you keep.
Oh, you are the company you keep.
You are the company you keep. And so if you relegate people to this place where there's only other criminals, then obviously you're going to become more like that.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of times it becomes like you just got to survive.
Yeah, exactly.
And part of that means changing
who
you are.
Exactly.
Just to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you ever see The Night Of? It's a miniseries on HBO.
No.
That's a good one. That's a good one to watch. It's a murder mystery, essentially.
What? So, how many episodes is it?
It's, I believe, 10-episode miniseries.
The Night Of?
The Night Of, yeah.
Well, I'm going to put that on because now that I have access to HBO.
The Hobos, yeah.
The Hobos.
Yeah, that's it. That one's been out for quite a while now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'd recommend it. You do get some, and you get into the prison system a little bit, but I say a little bit. You definitely get into the prison system.
Okay.
But yeah, check it out. And it's appropriate for this episode because it absolutely is a murder mystery. So you're going through trying to figure out like what events happened, and it's like all things point to this guy, but there's nothing like it just nothing jives.
Yeah.
It's very much like this. Like you cannot reconcile like the events and the alleged criminal.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make sense. But anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, highly recommend.
Okay.
Well, hey, thanks, NickedYou.
Thank you, NickedYou.
So who's up next?
Next up, we've got option 5, Insulin by Walker by Faith.
From the infamous Rachel's Guide to Suicide Success.
That's right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to hear from the author of
sure.
Rachel's Guide.
Sure.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, firstly, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did too.
As usual, I would like to say, Walker, that, you did a good job of describing, kind of your mythological idea of me.
You're right. It is pretty mythologized. Yeah,
it is. As far as my loss of plot, my not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, the thread just drops.
Dropping the thread, not knowing where I am. Like, I think it was in university or in Texas or something. Yeah, that actually sounds very accurate.
I was like, yeah, you say that all the time.
Okay, but one thing that you got totally twisted, I do not white save people.
I knew it. I knew that's where that was going.
I white get saved.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
You were saved from your whiteness?
No. No.
What? What is it then?
All right. What it means is I roll up in other countries with no itinerary, no idea of where I am or what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Totally helpless. I wander around until inevitably, in my experience so far, I stumble across somebody who's like, oh man, that poor white girl. She's you
just look as pitiable as possible.
Yeah. She's so lost. She's so confused. I've got to help her. Yes. And even in countries where they do not take kindly to Americans or Westerners or whatever, even in those countries, always eventually I will stumble upon someone who's like, so sad.
You look so pitiful.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And they come and help me. And that is what it means to white get saved. So, yeah, that's kind of my modus operandi. It's not really intentional. It just happens that way every time.
It's not intentional?
No.
It seems like you set yourself up to do exactly that every time.
I set myself up to have a good time.
Uh-huh.
And I don't like to plan. I like adventures.
Oh, that's not lost on.
Oh, yeah. So whenever I show up not knowing what the hell is going on, that sets me up for lots of adventures.
That's the sweet spot.
Oh, yeah. Because when you show up and you're like, I've got an itinerary and I know exactly what I'm doing, then you're not vulnerable.
Uh-huh.
But vulnerability is the place where you have adventures and where you really make connections.
Yeah. High risk, high reward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the one thing you got opposite. I don't white save. I white get saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But the constant talking about Mongolia, yes, I do that.
Yeah.
I know that I do that.
Mm-hmm.
My students hate me. They want me to shut the fuck up.
Like, this is America.
Yeah.
why are we talking about Mongolia?
I'm not going to stop. I know you don't like it.
It's like, why are we learning Mongolian words?
And I'm like, don't worry about it. Just learn it. Accept it.
It's like, why do I know the Mongolian word for creative?
Right.
Like, why? Why must I know that?
What is it?
Budech.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Fist bump. Butelch.
Butelch.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. So yes, I do that. I know. I really liked the idea of making your suicide into a murder mystery.
Yeah, that was, I hadn't even remotely thought about this continuation for that prompt, but then I was like, oh, that's perfect, because it's all death related anyways. So yeah, shape it up like go out with a question rather than a bang.
Yes, a question mark rather than a period.
Yeah, I think, was that Prismatics who said that?
I think so, yeah.
Jake said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that idea, and it didn't even dawn on me until I was reading this story, that I was like, oh, that's so fun. Like, what a creative way to approach something very macabre, obviously.
Right.
But it's just a very creative idea to take a murder mystery, and that's your your suicide.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I like that.
That's very interesting.
I like that a lot. I guess there's probably other ways that you could make your suicide a murder mystery. I mean, I feel like it happens a lot, you know?
Yeah, possibly.
Like in real
whether
life.
Intentional or
right,
not. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Why is there no note? How did he die? Who killed him? How did they get in this locked room? Why is this white man dead on the street in Mongolia? Etc.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I just immediately like pictured it, and I was like, huh. I feel like they'd be pissed more than anything else.
Yeah, inconvenienced.
Well, yeah, and also pissed about the fact, no, not really inconvenienced, but mostly pissed about the fact that they would be getting accused of his murder. Him being an American, you know?
Yeah. Okay,
I got
fair enough.
trouble in Mongolia for almost dying once. Everybody got really pissed off. They were not concerned about me.
They were concerned about themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fallout.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you were there as a representative of the Peace Corps. Yeah,
right.
There would be fallout.
Right.
Yeah.
They were like, do you have any idea what would happen to us if you had died? And I'm like, wow, thanks for showing your concern about me. You are not, I'm not white getting saved right now.
Yeah.
I'm white getting berated.
Oh, how the turntables.
Yes.
Also, he has all this emphasis on specific words. At least I think insulin overdose is undetectable. That sounds right?
Yeah.
And where Mongolia comes in, and then later you get, why is this white man dead on the street in Mongolia, etc. So be sure not to notate your nocturnal nod from whence you shall not awake. All of these emphases are spot on. That's exact, because you do have emphasis.
Yeah.
Like, you'll pick a word, it's like, this is important.
Yes.
It's
prominence. Prominence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I love the emphasis on some of these words. It's really
on some of them syllables.
Yeah, it's very very Rachel-esque.
Thank you.
A lot of Rachelisms in here.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Walker, for picking up on that.
Oh yeah. and where Mongolia comes in, as it does every week in forced random conversations. I think if I had to live there forever, I'd straight up murk myself. Because that opening part is exactly right. And you even admitted to as much before we even got there, as it does every week in forced random conversation.
It's true. As I'm sitting here staring at your wall with a picture of Mongolia.
Yeah,
the word Mongolia.
Well, yeah, those were pictures that Kim took, actually.
I know.
But yes, yeah.
Oh, I know. But it's funny because I was just remembering that last night I was at a bar with some I guess you could call them friends. And
all right.
And I ended up the conversation devolved into me just spinning tales of Mongolia to them.
Not even remotely surprised by that.
As it always does.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's true. I can't stop. I won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
That is kind of fun, though. Lock the door. Even put, put stuff up against the door.
Bar it.
Yeah, bar it.
Yeah, barricade it.
Right, barricade it. Make it a fucking mystery.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and make all signs point to a murder.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, that would be wild.
Did you ever watch the true crime story about that girl in that hotel that went missing? She was very young, early 20s or something. And there's footage of her running around the hotel and running into the elevator, and there's security cameras.
Uh-huh.
And it shows her looking out of the elevator as though she sees someone coming, and then pushing the button and just doing all this weird shit. And then she disappears. Nobody knows where she is. And then I don't know, a few weeks later or something, some guests complain that the water tastes weird at the hotel.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so they go check the water tank on the roof because it's a really tall hotel.
Uh-huh.
And her dead body is floating in there.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're like, how did she get murdered? Was she on drugs?
Yeah, I was gonna say bath salts or
something like that. Anyway, but imagine if the whole time she'd been planning to commit suicide and she just wanted to make this huge theater.
This whole scene.
Yes.
Yeah. She's been rehearsing it for months at various hotels.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying it. Yeah. That would be, but I feel if I were at a point where I was ready to kill myself, I wouldn't be feeling that creative or fun.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it would
that speaks to higher problems if that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What if it was terminal ill? What if you were terminally ill?
Mm-hmm. Now that I can see doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those you don't want to suffer anymore type of things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just do this whole thing. Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah. There's so many ideas. So many ideas could go nuts with.
Go out with a bang.
Go out with a question.
Right. With with a question mark.
That's very intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Continue to just enjoy the whole series.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's just unraveling a little bit more each time. But whatever. Let's go the easy button route for option 6 to suicide success. 9mm milkshake. Yeah. Guns, dummy.
I know. I like the residence attaché.
Yeah, RA.
Yes.
Isn't it just a resident assistant? Is that all it is?
Yeah.
Attaché.
Yeah, I like that. But my favorite line in the whole thing is where it's I remember at that same college, I think it was in Texas or somewhere.
That is such a youism.
I know. And it's really messed up. And there's times where I'm like,
I should know that.
Yeah, I'm like, am I okay? Maybe not.
Kim and I have that question for you often. It's is she okay? Or to the point, it's she's fine.
Yeah.
She's fine.
I'm like, am I okay? But then again, and then I start feeling guilty about being not okay. But then I'm like, I can't help it.
It's just who I am.
It's just who I am. Okay.
I'm white getting saved.
That's right. And I've got a lot on my mind. Okay. I've got a lot to think about. I've got to like take dumps from my mind.
Gross. There must be a better way to say that.
I've got to get rid of the excess information in my mind.
If you say excrement, I'm gonna reach across this table and strangle you.
No. I've got to get rid of the excess information in my brain so that I can make room for all the fun ideas and things that are always coming
More
in.
inane bullshit.
Yes. For the new inane bullshit. Yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, same. Absolutely same.
Right. Okay. So you get it.
Oh, I get it.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. What else you got?
I really enjoyed it, and I do hope that somebody picks this up for next week.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Oh,
I think you should.
Really?
I think you should continue this.
Think about it.
Okay.
I'll think about it. Mm-hmm. I will think about it. No guarantees.
Challenge proposed.
Yes.
But not accepted.
Nope.
But not declined either.
Considered. Challenge considered.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so next up, we've got Green Chip by Jake.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Jake.
Oh, yeah. This story.
I love this story.
This is good. And
I love this story.
Oh, I want to kill Tabby.
Yeah, Tabby a hoe.
Tabby a hoe. It's like, I don't care what Stephanie did.
Yeah.
To you. Like, she ruined your life, so you take hers in its entirety.
But also, really, stealing your husband ruined your life. Like,
come on, man.
Get over it. Find a new husband, bro.
Oh my God. It was at this paragraph. It begins. Come on in, Steph. Tabby said coolly. Special circumstances for this talk. You and I have a lot to go over before you come back to us tomorrow with your hat in your hand. My comment is, oh no, I'm gonna hate Tabby, aren't I? Mm-hmm. That's all it took. It took one sentence essentially out of her mouth, and it's like, I'm going to hate this person.
All it took for me was where it said, come on in, Steph. Tabby said coolly.
Yeah.
So I already felt like Tabby was a person who lacked empathy.
Yeah, or she at least had some bone to pick. Yeah. And again, we don't really know much about Stephanie, so it's like, okay, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Stephanie's in rehab. She's done some shit. Mm-hmm. So she has to answer for some things. So
yeah.
But
here's the thing.
Come back to us tomorrow with your hat in your hand.
Right.
That made me so mad.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's like somebody is working on recovery and rehab. Like, that is not how you approach that.
And also, aren't you glad that you got your husband like filtered out? You know, like.
Oh yeah, because sounds like he's a cheating son of a bitch.
Exactly, yeah. And that reminds me of an Archie comic. Did you ever read Archie?
No, not really.
Wow. I sound really old, but I used to love buying the Archie comic books when I was little. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, there was Archie, which was like the protagonist. And then there was Veronica and Betty, who were his hoes. And then there was Jughead, who loved hamburgers. But he was Archie. Okay, Veronica was the hot one. She was the brunette. And she was always like, hot and having all these like hot boyfriends or whatever. Betty, although she looked exactly the same in the way that they drew her, but she was blonde. But she like always was playing second fiddle to Veronica. Betty and some other guy got together. Okay, some other guy. And Betty was like, yeah, I've got a boyfriend, woo! Or whatever. Uh-huh. And then Veronica seduces Betty's boyfriend.
That bitch.
I know. But for Veronica, she felt like she was taking one for the team, sacrificing, because she wanted to prove to Betty that her boyfriend was unfaithful. And so in the end, Betty is like, you bitch. And Veronica's like, I did what I had to do to show you that he's not good for you. She was like the martyr. Veronica was like the martyr.
Or like the savior.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm willing to accept your wrath.
Yeah. If that's a sacrifice I am willing to make. That's a sacrifice
I'll make to save you from this man.
Yeah. Certainly took the high road, it sounds like.
Right.
Yeah.
And got some D on the way.
Okay.
Come on, Veronica. That must have been so hard on you.
I see what you did there.
Hey. Thank you. Hey.
But yeah, so we get so much buildup with this rehab. 90 days. It recurs again and again. 90-day program, 90-day chip. She's been sober for 90 days. There's just a line 90. Yes. This is a big deal. Mm-hmm. Not since she was 15 had she been sober for this long. 15. That in and of itself is a story that's worth writing and reading. But we're catching the tail end of that, and she's sober for 3 months.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Amazing.
And then on this momentous day, genuinely momentous day, in comes her sister Tabby with his bone to pick. And they got a lot to talk about. And this conversation just devolves. And we get a heartfelt apology from Stephanie. Like, I really wish I could take this back. I can't. It's done. All I can be is sorry. And all I am is sorry, which is, anyway, it's devastating. Yeah. It's devastating to see her go through all of this and just lay her soul out there bare to her sister. And what does she get in return but killed?
Yeah.
Just fucking killed. And drugged at that, it sounds like. And framed to basically look like she went on a bender. So removing all of the work that she had done, undoing all of that.
Yeah.
What a terrible, that's such a terrible thing to do.
It is. It's horrible.
And so this is the murder mystery that I want. Like, I want to see the conclusion because I want to see Tabby brought the fuck down
to justice. I would love to see that conclusion, like where detectives show up and they find the evidence and all that stuff. Did you read Walker's commentary after all that?
No, I've been actually. I was going to try and keep up with comments as we went because I haven't had a chance to.
Okay, well, he actually added a lot of commentary about from someone who has been through the 12 steps, and he was like, the fact that he added some really, really interesting context, which he said that the fact that Stephanie is apologizing shows that she's like a rookie for the program. Like, she doesn't totally get it yet because apparently you're not supposed to apologize until you've shown that you're different. Because that's like a mistake that a lot of like beginners make, is that they'll apologize, but their loved ones have no reason to trust them.
Or their apology.
Yeah, or their apology, because they've already like let them down so much. And so that shows that, and he said a lot of people at 90 days, they suddenly feel like they've got it figured out, but they don't.
Right. Yeah, and you're just getting started in this process. You're just
getting started, but they already are getting kind of like too big for their britches and thinking that they have the answers and stuff like that. And it's like a really delicate and risky time in recovery.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's excellent. Just psychology in general. And yeah, that kind of is Stephanie's undoing.
Yeah.
The apology.
Yeah.
But it seems premeditated. Like, but even before she apologized, she was being
That's true.
dosed.
But, no. A little bit, yeah. In her drink.
Yeah.
But I wondered when I read that how would Tabby have reacted if Stephanie had been like, I'm not even going to apologize because I know that that's not what you need to hear. I am going to show you, that I'm changing or whatever. And I just need for you to give me that chance to show you. or something. I wonder if Stephanie would like rethink her plan, you know?
Or Tabby, rather. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tabby. Yes.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know that too, because it seems like Tabby had her mind made up because she gave her the ginger ale well before she dove off into any of this.
Right.
And so it's like nothing. It seems like nothing Stephanie could have said would have changed Tabby's mind. I mean, obviously, no way to know, but it seems like this is something she's got to do. She comes in with this premeditated plan with a shiv and a bottle of vodka and doses her ginger ale. So like 3 different things that she brought in just speaks to her willingness to carry out this plan of hers.
Yeah, but I still think it's possible that, nothing is set in stone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, she could certainly change her mind.
Yeah, she could have a change of heart.
It's like, what, in your opinion, you think that what Stephanie could have said that could maybe change Tabby's mind is, I will not apologize. I just need to show you that I'm different.
Yeah,
and that takes time.
Yeah, totally. And the only reason that I even had that thought was because of reading Walker's, context about AA.
Which is great context, by the way. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and so I just wonder if she had, because that almost seems like, it almost seems like wrapping it up, being like, I'm so sorry, I'm different now. That's like wrapping it up, and Tabby's like, no, you're not different. But if she had left it open-ended, like, I am going to show you that I'm different. And my apology will only come after I've proven it to you. And I need a chance to show it to you, you know? That almost like leaves it more open-ended, I think, and harder to just like close that book.
Yeah. Oh man, this is an excellent discussion under Prismatic's story. This is great.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh yeah, and we have to disqualify this story. He wrote it in 35 minutes.
Yeah, that's really, really fucked up.
Strike it.
Wow.
Strike it from the podcast.
I hope that you haven't slept since you submitted this.
Unacceptable. Yeah. How do you sleep at
night? JK.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, you mentioned you wanted to do something a bit different with the murder mystery. This certainly is different. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I'd completely forgotten that I was supposed to be reading a murder mystery. And then the ending came along and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, I guess it is a murder mystery, which is that much more exciting to dive into the rest of it.
Right.
Like these inciting incidents, all of them just, I want the rest of it, you know?
Yeah. And I think it's really interesting whenever you contrast this story with NickedYou's story. Mm-hmm. Because NickedYou's story offers rehabilitation to someone who did not think they deserved it and definitely did not expect it.
But got it anyway.
And got it anyway. This is stealing rehabilitation from someone, you know?
It's exactly that. You're right.
Yeah. It's really interesting how the two of you so differently interpreted the rehabilitation word, you know?
Yeah. And incorporated.
Not interpreted it, but yes, incorporated it into your stories.
Yeah. That's just so interesting. How much lifting rehabilitation was doing this week.
Yes.
Along with murder mystery. Like these are excellent, very unique takes on murder mysteries. Yeah, NickedYou's very, very unique. Prismatic's, Jake's is, like I said, I didn't even think for most of it that I was reading a murder mystery. Mm-hmm. It's just this very, very well thought out and very emotional scene between two sisters, one in rehab, and basically waiting for the other shoe to drop. And then she murders her. Yeah. And like forces her to drink vodka. And the whole time I was like, what the, like, I was so mad. It's so effective. It really got me mad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's absurd. And, you know, honestly,
very well done.
Tabby, to me, comes out seeming kind of pathetic because...
Oh, yeah.
Really, your whole world is hinging on your piece of shit husband. You know?
Yeah.
Get over yourself. Like this, get a life, bro. Get something. I don't know.
And for all we know, maybe like because of the way Stephanie talks about Tabby, it sounds like Tabby had it made. Like she had the good life, the good husband, the good job, or this is kind of just how I'm remembering it. But it's like, and that was a big part of why Stephanie was an alcoholic, was because that wasn't her.
Yeah.
And ultimately, like that,
she was jealous.
Yeah, and sounds like rock bottom may have been her sleeping with her husband. And that may have been what drove her into rehab in the first place. All speculation, but
yeah,
it's not too much of a leap to think that's sort of how this went down.
Yes.
And so Tabby does sound like she genuinely lost a lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you did not die.
Right.
And you took Stephanie's life. I can't. I can't deal with that.
Yeah. It's extremely messed up and treacherous.
Excellent word. Treacherous. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, what else you got?
That's all I got for that. But
likewise,
I loved that story.
I did too.
I really like the interpersonal action, the dialogue. That's kind of my jam. So I definitely get really engaged in those stories.
Yeah, I like these. I love dialogue, like one-on-one dialogue, especially when it's so natural like this. They talk like sisters on the page.
Yeah.
It's very well done.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jake.
Thank you, Jake.
An excellent discussion, by the way.
Yes,
on the
subreddit.
I loved
that. I loved that. That was so good.
Yeah. Yeah. And our last story for this week is by Steve Living Room with Death of a Body.
Yes. So, what'd you make of this?
So, this is a more straightforward detective cat and mouse, like following the detective. And we get basically we're just catching the aftermath of the murder. So we don't actually know anything about the events. And so we're just over the shoulder of this inspector. But I think this is, like I said, more tropey, I guess. Like it follows the murder mystery tropes much closer than the others did. But the others were doing some very different things.
Yes.
And I think it has strength in it because of that. Because we're primed for certain aspects of murder mysteries. And so it lands very naturally.
Yes. Well, I think that on the surface, it's very tropey.
But yeah, at the end, yeah.
But then at the end, and you said, Steve, I hope that, you understand what I'm referring to. And I did, because of mythology, Gaia is the earth.
Yeah.
So this is about how we are destroying the earth, poisoning the earth.
Yeah.
And so I feel like when you're trying to kind of do like a riddle type of thing, then it's good to follow a trope.
Yeah.
Because not a riddle. I'm sorry, that's not what I'm trying to say.
It's almost like a puzzle.
Yeah, when you're trying to present a puzzle and to make a point, then I think that following a trope is a really good idea because otherwise I feel like the readers would get lost.
It's also kind of gaslighting your reader a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of leading them.
You're leading them.
But no.
Right. You're leading them. And so that's why you have to use those really tropey qualities is to lead your reader. Oh, this is what we're doing. And then at the very end, it's Gaia.
Got the twist, yeah.
Yes. And you're like, oh my God, it's Earth. We're killing our Earth.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you on that, Steve.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no debate here. But yeah, as far as what really started to turn for me was the emotionality of the inspector. Yeah. Because these are professionals. Like they don't like of course they'll have emotions about certain cases in their job and things, but to have this level of emotion come out, this degree of sadness and just despair over a case like this between two professionals, That's whenever I was like, we're doing something here.
Yeah.
And then Gaia.
Yeah.
At the end, yeah.
I got the same thing. I was like, this is leading us somewhere, but I don't know where. I was guessing before I got to the end. I was like, is it going to end up being that one of them is the perpetrator, or Gaines comes to the conclusion that it was Zares, or however you say his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it ended up being Gaia. And then I Googled the names Gaines and Zares just to see if that was also like a reference to something. And some random hoe came up. So
So no.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I really don't think so. Some random hoe who is a woman, wife, and mother and photographer.
Right on.
And I was like, that can't be what Steve is referring to.
Maybe.
That doesn't make sense at all.
But yeah, that's a very good point about using the trope to sort of guide the reader through this puzzle to start with, and then just gradually lead them astray.
Right.
Or not necessarily astray, but deeper into your puzzle, I guess. And the longer you can hold on to that trope, the more effective it is. To that point, there was... Oh, where was it? Oh, yeah. It's routinely referred to as the body. The body poisoned herself to death. What is that? Is that intentional? Like, because surely it would be victim.
Well, he did make a note. He did make a comment.
Okay.
Where he was like, I realized I should have said the inhabitants of the body or something poisoned the body. So,
yeah.
And I feel like even a better thing than inhabitants would have been to make it even more like, indirect would be like parasites
or virus.
Yeah. Or virus. Like there was a virus attacked the body or the host.
The host, yeah.
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 A virus or parasites attacked the host.
Yeah.
And
that's a metaphor commonly used for the way people live on the planet as a virus.
Right. But I also like parasites because it's like thinking of like a bunch of individual little entities which are like leeching off of the host,
Parasites actually is more favorable to humanity than virus, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, either way, I feel like using that instead of like inhabitants could have been good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just, because it was so unusual. Because in a detective story, it's the victim poisoned herself to death, and so that was a very telling moment. And because it's later in the story, it makes sense to start giving us some clues that we're going somewhere with this.
Yeah,
and so that really was a big clue. But I was trying to figure out a way to do that, and yeah, I think like the parasite or the virus destroyed the host, or has destroyed, however you want to phrase that.
Yeah, but I like the idea of parasite because it's like these little entities are taking the resources from the host, rather than a virus, which is just like destroying. It's like the parasites are like sucking out the resources from the host. Like they became too plentiful and were, taking more than they needed. They were like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like sucking the host dry almost.
Yeah. 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 I really like this kind of as a metaphor for what we as humanity are doing to the planet. And also for the emotionality that we get from these two detectives. I like that. I like that we get this time to see just how devastated they are by this idea.
Yeah,
because it is devastating. It's, I mean, once you catch the metaphor, it's no going back, man.
Right.
Like
she's dead.
She's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. She may come back.
Mm-hmm.
We won't be here for it, but she may come back.
Right. And it could be like the body was poisoned. Instead of you have the body poisoned herself to death, believing that it wouldn't really kill her. It could be like the body was sucked dry by, the parasites who believed that her resources were limitless or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Start leaning into the exact message a little bit heavier.
Right.
Right there. Yeah. Yeah. There's so many ways you could go about saying that.
Totally.
It's just finding your favorite, I guess.
Right. Exactly.
But
the one that depicts most what you're looking for.
Yeah. And because I think that's the major turning point there, I think it really does need to speak to. It really does need to speak to your message. So that's where you would spend you need to spend a lot of time weighing that sentence, because that's really where you start to lead your reader away from the trope and to your message, or to your twist, I guess.
Right.
And so that's a really important line, and it worked the way that it is now. It really did clue me in as like, something is off here.
Yes.
Something is going on here.
Something's
so
happening.
It is effective there. I just think that I just dress it up. That's what I just keep. I'll just come back to that. Just dress it up a little bit.
Dress it up.
You can have a lot of fun with that, and really just kind of start. That's where you start twisting that knife, because you're digging a knife into your reader, and so just give us a little twist on that knife and make us think about it a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, very. Actually, Steve, I wanted to call out. I think I am seeing some pretty substantial improvement in your writing, especially over the last 2-3 months.
Yeah,
it has been like this. This is lovely to read, and it's just very clean. This is all very clean.
It is very clean, and I did love the dialogue.
Yes,
it was very engaging.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels natural.
It felt natural. It did.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm glad I highlighted this. We get this 9 hours and 19 minutes later. Gaines calls Zares. How? This is actually something I struggle with. What is a good way to clue a reader into passage of time? There's a ton of ways to do it, but in this application, I just want to dress that up a little bit.
It could be like, the phone rang and Gaines glanced at his watch. It was this time.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, rather than just address it straight away. And again, we're writing in 30 minutes, so you just do what you got to do to get the story down.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, how would I do that? I like the idea of like the phone rang and he looked at his watch and time got away. It had been 9 hours and 19 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he realized that exactly 9 hours and 19 minutes had passed.
Yeah.
That would show like a attention to detail by Gaines. Gaines is the one who answered the phone, right?
Gaines called Zares.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zares looks at the clock. It would show an attention to detail and also kind of make it a little bit more natural, because it's like, okay, how do we ever know what time it is? By looking at the clock. You know? Yeah.
Or it could be like, Zares was startled and the phone rang and then glanced bleary-eyed at the clock, kind of showing like he was asleep or something like that. Yeah. There's just so many ways to address the way time passes. I struggle with it every single time I approach a time that needs to happen in a story.
Yeah.
Because it's a transition point, and transitions are really important, I feel like.
Yes.
So they are in music. They're the things that as an ensemble you rehearse transitions over and over and over and over again until you don't have to think about them.
That's a whole like week worth of class material for language.
Just transitions. Yeah.
Transitions and how to like recognize them and like, oh, the conversation is changing now.
Yeah, and preparing for a transition.
Yeah.
Just like in music,
cluing someone in.
You prepare a key change ahead of time. Like there are things that you do to lead into the new key. Unless you're Barry Manilow and you just do it, whatever.
Right. But there's exceptions to every rule.
Absolutely, yeah. And I was just curious, like what you would do in that application, because I feel like it's a common thing to hang up on, because I do. Yeah, I definitely get hung up on transitions. So,
or you could even be like, he suddenly heard the clock ticking, or the
chance to glance.
Yes, the ticking of the clock became deafening. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, just call out time, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's just thinking about how do we naturally notice the time.
Yeah.
And just making that happen in the story.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, hey, thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
For an excellent entry.
Yes.
And that is all of our stories for this week.
That's it?
That is it. 4 stories this week.
Amazing. I love it. So, hey, y'all, what do you think about the You Write retreat?
Oh, yeah. We'd have to pick a semi-central location. Oh, yeah. Denver. That's easy.
And then Steve can take us to that sushi place.
Izakaya Den.
Yes. Yeah. Izakaya Den.
So Kim is out of town and they're going to a ramen place and it's got the name Izakaya in it, but it's not Izakaya Den. So it's apparently like a Japanese like pub, like a name for like a Japanese pub-ish style atmosphere. I don't know. I thought that was interesting because I remembered it from Steve's story. But anyway, so we'll discuss the You Write retreat and what that might entail.
Yes.
And thank you, NickedYou, for being selected here today. Excellent work on that. I really appreciated that, and I wanted to mention that I liked that we got a chance to pick up between the original court scene that we got and what will ultimately be the Platinum Peak like court scene. I assume so.
The high court.
Yeah, scene. So that story in itself is like embodying a transition.
Yeah.
Very. I love that aspect of that story.
Changes. Changes.
Also, Walker by Faith, Jake, and Steve. Thanks, guys.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all so much. And that moves us into episode 35.
Episode 35.
Okay,
so shall I tell them the prompt?
Yes, please.
Okay. The prompt is, which some of you already know, choose a story to expound upon, to give the next installment of. So
from another submitter.
Right, from another submitter. So we want everybody to choose a story from another submitter and write the continuation, the next installment. It doesn't have to finish the story. It could just be like the next chapter, whatever.
You could, I would even argue you could do like fan fiction style.
Yeah.
Like just embody a world even.
You could. Well, also I would like for you to try, I think it would be interesting if you try to make it kind of seamless. It can't be totally seamless, but try to emulate the style of that other writer, which is something that one of my Latin professors used to make us do. She would make us emulate the style of fucking Ovid or something.
Oh God. Yeah.
She would make us write in Latin and emulate a certain author's style. Anyway, so no, she did that shit. And so I would love to see y'all try to emulate the style of the other writer so that if some rando were to pick up the 2 installments, it doesn't, whatever, there could be more, but they wouldn't it wouldn't be so glaringly obvious that it's from 2 different authors.
Right. Yeah.
But also add your own spin to it.
Yeah. Yeah. In the style of the original story with your own take.
Yeah, because I would really like to see these stories like go in a different direction, Yeah. That maybe the original author did not anticipate.
Or whatever direction you go, whether it's unanticipated or if it makes absolute logical sense. Like, I would say just find one that you. Well, I say find one. So Walker put up a post under episode 35. Basically saying to volunteer a story that you think would be good for a continuation, for essentially like a co-authorship.
Yeah.
So, because that's essentially what we're asking you to do is to co-author a small series or like a duet of stories. And so I went ahead and volunteered one of my own, but I would encourage each of you to find a story of yours and volunteer it as a candidate for continuation.
Yes.
One that you think has your style or a style that is good to emulate, like worth emulating this idea, this style, and continuing a plot line or a characterizations, whatever it may be. The one that I did is fan fiction. My fan fiction story that I wrote from This Is How You Lose the Time War.
Mm-hmm. Red and Blue, wasn't it?
Yeah, that story was co-authored. So I think it's primed for somebody to just take it and do the next essentially epistolary installment.
Cool.
So that's my offering is basically I love the style of those two authors and it's co-authored, so it just lends itself to that in the first place. So somebody take it, run with it. You don't have to have read This Is How You Lose the Time War.
Right.
Just have fun with it and just try to go for that style.
Yeah.
Try to capture a voice.
I love that. I almost want to like put a candidate up.
Do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do it. I almost put Billiam up there.
Billiam.
Oh, Billiam.
I love Billiam. He's cute. I love him.
Okay, so the words to accompany our friendly continuation prompts man guy thing are point, level, monopoly, beef, and decoration.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Point.
Is that point like POINT or POINTE?
No E. Point. Like point at that picture.
Okay, so
I'm going to make a point today.
Right. So the point can be a noun or a verb or an adjectival noun.
Point committee.
Sure. I'm going to make a point slide show.
Okay. Yeah, it barely works.
A point lesson. Today we're going to have our point lesson.
Okay.
Yeah. So point is it's almost like an onomatopoeia. Point. Point. It feels like the word describes the actual thing. Point.
Yeah. Point. Yeah.
Point. I see like a squiggly pigtail. Tail of
like a pig. Okay.
No, the tail of a pig, not a hair thing.
Right. Yeah, the little
point. It's like ding, like springy, kind of, you know.
But it's a point.
I know, but I see that though. That's what I see.
Dogs point.
They do. Yours does.
Our dog points.
Yours is a pointer.
We didn't even train him. As a puppy, he pointed at stuff.
He's a pointer, right?
Yeah. German short hair pointer.
Right. Yeah. He points.
That's his shtick.
That's so cute and great. And it's innate in him.
Yes. Yeah. Genetic. Absolutely innate. Yeah.
Right. Which is amazing in and of itself, but
yeah, it's so wild to see him just as a little potato out in the yard. And then he sees something and he just lifts up a paw and just like stares at it. And lowers his head.
That's so cute.
And then he starts stalking it.
Yeah. Oh.
It's adorable.
That's too cute. You stop it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so point, it can be to point at something or somebody, which is rude.
Do not point at people.
Don't you do it.
Don't you wag your finger at me.
Don't you do it. I want you to. I do that. I've done that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the grocery store.
Oh? To randos?
I'm just like, you.
You
right there. No, to the cashier. Because I'll tell them, I'd be like, I want for you, please, to put each of my items into this not recyclable, but reusable bag. And inevitably, they'll start putting shit in plastic bags. And I'm
ineffably.
like, no.
And then they say, don't you wag your finger at me.
And I'm like,
okay, I'll just point at you.
You.
No. Bad cashier.
You put that into I don't want your one-use shit.
Use my bag.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah. Oh, and you made a point that day as well.
I did, yes. Yeah. So point by point. You can do points on slides.
You can earn points in a game.
Points in a game, absolutely, which is a completely different meaning.
Yeah.
Like, why does that even mean that? The same thing. Why does that one word mean those two very different things?
Because it's all made up.
I know.
Yeah. I'm not going to look up point because I feel like there's a lot more out there.
Don't do it.
And yeah, it just seems like the longer I think about it, it's like, oh yeah, you can do all kinds of things with point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point, main idea. The point is, it's the main idea. The bottom line. And yeah, the
crux of the matter.
The crux of the matter, it's the thing awarded, the point. And it's funny because you can just create points out of nowhere.
Oh, pointillism is a style of art. Pointillism.
Yeah, I think
like
I knew
done
that.
with like little just
points like tattoos.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Huh.
God,
there's so much. Anyways.
There's so much. It can be an award. It's an award unit. It's an award unit.
An award unit.
Yes. Like I can say to my students, 5 points to whoever can answer this question. Those points they don't actually exist.
Oh yeah, the points are made up. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not.
And the score doesn't matter. Yeah.
No.
It's whose line is it anyway? Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere, and they're not benefiting anybody. They don't even exist. I just conjured them out of thin air. These points, which have no basis in reality. So it's like an award unit.
Yeah. 5
units of recognition for whoever can blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. 5 million bragging rights.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And our next word is level.
Level. So level is a thing in video games.
It's a story in a building.
It's a tool. No, it's a thing you can do with like cement or something.
It is also a tool.
I thought it was called like a leveler.
It's just a level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There are levelers, but it's not the ones with the little bubble. Those are bubble levels. Yeah. I have a big one and I have a bullion.
Yeah. Oh, cute.
Yeah. And I would say with regards to level in reference to like tools or making something flat, it's, I guess, opposite would be plumb.
Oh.
So having something perfectly vertical is plumb. Having something perfectly horizontal is level.
What?
Yeah.
How do you spell plumb?
Plumb.
Awesome.
Plumb.
Amazing.
Like a plumb. Have you ever heard of a plumb bob?
Yeah, and I've heard of a plumb line.
Oh, yeah,
I just wonder. I wonder if that's where the term like plumb, as in completely, comes from.
Almost certainly, yeah.
Yeah. Because I always thought of
Maybe.
when my dad would say that, I would always think plumb, plum.
Yeah.
I never thought plum like the fruit. I always thought like plumb for some reason.
Plumb. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
And also, level can be a verb.
Yeah, you level something. Yeah.
Yeah, or level up.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can level a building.
Yeah.
And
oh, totally.
It's like raising a building. Yeah.
That's like the thing what's that? Where's a contronym?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because to level, well, it doesn't really mean, it's not a total contronym, I don't think, but like level up is like to increase the levels, but to level something is to completely destroy it.
Yeah. And like level the playing field is a common saying.
Yes. It's to like flatten it out. Yeah. Interesting. I think that's a contronym.
It's right there. Yeah, I think it's close.
The half sibling to a contronym. It's contronym adjacent.
The bastard child to a contronym. Oh, it's cute.
That's cute.
Okay, and the next word is Monopoly.
Monopoly is a game which we all played as children.
Yep, it is that.
That's it.
No, it's not true.
No, it's not true.
A monopoly, it is it's like a business or a business sector that is ruled by like one company that has like total control over that sector of business or economy.
I almost think of it as like advantage. Like
advantage.
If that business has a monopoly on whatever, it's like they have the control or the advantage over that.
Yeah, they
product.
have total control over that entire market, which is why they're illegal.
Sure.
Well, yeah, and because I know that, what is it, the SEC that will break up monopolies to spur economic growth. And because without competition, growth is stifled. So if one company is in control of something, then the economy will eventually suffer for the lack of competition.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I think that's right.
I just found that one synonym for monopoly is cartel. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Another one is trust.
Like a trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Yup. Monopoly can be either a noun or an adjective. Like Monopoly game.
Right. Yeah.
But the verb is monopolize, so
yeah,
can be
that.
Yeah,
it's kind of a one-trick pony. It means what it means, and that's about it.
Except for the game, also.
Well, yeah, but even the game is in reference to the idea of a monopoly.
Of course,
yeah,
but people don't think about that. They just think about the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Your average Joe.
Oh yeah. My first thought whenever I see this word is always the board game that causes people to flip the table.
Oh yeah. I just immediately think of the board. An image of the board.
What's the first place on the board that you think of?
The man with the top hat and
like
mustache.
The middle of it.
The first thing that comes to mind is that and jail.
I think of Boardwalk.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like the top of the pyramid, it's the best spot. So it's like Monopoly, Boardwalk.
Okay, yeah.
And then jail and Go, I guess.
Okay, yeah. I went to jail a lot, so.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I know. In Monopoly.
Yeah.
Sadly.
All right, our next word is beef.
Beef?
Beef or bœuf if you're French.
I was going to say bœuf. Beef.
Beef.
Beef. Okay, this is a really funny one. It's really funny because
there's a lot of colloquial ways to use this.
Oh yeah, for real, like definitely. So beef normally is cow meat. But the reason I laugh is because sometimes my students get confused because it is confusing, and they'll be like, I saw a beef on my way to class. They mean a cow.
I saw a cow.
But they said a beef.
A beef. I saw beef on the
hoof. A beef on the hoof. Oh my God. Yeah, well, it's confusing because like chicken is the same whether you're talking about the animal or the meat.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. And so they're memorizing all this stuff. So they're just like, a beef. It's a beef. I saw 3 beefs.
And then we drove a little bit further and I saw at least 4 veal or 4, is it deer meat? Veal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw 4 veal.
Or 4 porks.
4 pork.
No, bro, listen, my boyfriend, okay, he hit a herd of pigs.
Oh, okay.
With his car on accident and totaled it. But he's always like
javelinas?
Yes.
Yeah, murder pigs. Or suicide pigs, yeah.
Yeah, but he's always like, when he thinks back on that, he's always like, those fucking porks. I hate those porks.
So it's a common issue, I guess.
Yeah, it's he either is saying that or he's like pitying the family of those porks.
Oh.
Who had to deal with their passing. Anyway, beef also can mean to have like a problem with somebody.
Yeah, like a grudge, beef. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got like
unfinished business.
Unfinished business. Yeah. Yes, we've got beef.
We got beef.
Yes. And then in that case it can also be a verb.
Yeah.
I'm beefing with whoever.
Yeah. I'm beefing with. I don't know if I've heard it that way before, but
really?
yeah, it would totally make sense.
Oh yeah, I've
it would not be
heard
lost
that.
at all on me.
Yeah. I've definitely heard that. Like, well, so and so's beefing with whoever, so we can't invite them both to the party.
Or somebody can totally beef something.
Yeah.
They just totally screwed up.
Oh yeah, he totally beefed it.
He totally beefed it.
Why does that mean that?
I don't know. That's probably showing our age. That seems like our generationism.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, but
yeah. Beef up is to get muscular.
Yeah, get jacked.
That's right.
Get ripped.
Get swole.
Swole.
Mm-hmm.
That's the. I don't know why I hate that. Get swole.
I'm gonna go get swole. I know it's gross. What else?
Those are all the ones I can think of for now. I'm sure there's others.
Beefcake. A beefcake is a hot guy.
Yeah.
Like a stud.
Yeah.
Total beefcake. I feel like that's like I don't know, like an 80s term or something.
Is it?
I don't know.
I'm sure I don't know.
Yeah.
So beef.
Beef.
It's what's for dinner.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And the last word is decoration.
Decoration?
Decoration.
Okay. Well, as we all know, this is related to the word decor. Decor. So decoration. This is a noun and an adjectival noun. Decoration station.
Of course. Yeah.
Decoration is a thing that looks good.
It's a party.
It's a party.
Yeah. There are seasonal decorations.
There are
just
perennial decorations.
Yeah. Like what?
Like whatever people has got in their houses all year.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yeah, like artwork is decorations.
It is decorations. Artwork is decorations.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Decorations. When I hear the word decoration, I think of those crunchy edible shapes that you put on like cupcakes and cakes, you know? Those little candy shapes. Candy. You know, and when you put it on a cupcake and you bite into it, it's so just soft and squishy and sweet. Then you crunch into that decoration. Just like that.
Some lovely Foley work. Thank you.
Yes. You know what I'm talking
about? Maybe. I really don't think I do. But,
okay. Well, it's just crunchy, hard sugar things that go on top of cakes and stuff.
Interesting. Oh, like that's a custard flan or not flan, but creme brulee. It has like that crispy.
No, that's delicious. No, but I'm talking about like the things that you can buy at the store, like in a certain shape or whatever, and you just put it on top. It's on like little kids' birthday cakes in the 80s, at least. Hold on.
I'm just struggling.
Oh, yes. These things. It's usually in the shape of letters.
What?
It's letters. But it's edible. It's sugar.
They're not candles?
No, it's edible sugar letters.
Happy birthday dot matrix icing decoration?
Sure. They're delicious.
That might be the first time I've ever seen those.
Wow.
Because any like wording or anything on a cake was always like piped on.
Oh, wow. No, we always had these and they are so yummy. Well, the main thing about them is that they add texture, you know?
So it's just like sugar? It's just
yeah.
Sugar?
Yeah, it's just sugar. It's like the same thing like sprinkles are made out of.
Huh.
Yeah, they're delicious. Highly recommend eating them. Look, here's Halloween ones.
I've never seen these.
Wow.
Are they thick like cookies?
No, they're like this,
wafer thin?
They're like this thick and they're just sugar. So if you ate it by itself, it would just taste like
A sugar cube.
Yeah, a sugar cube. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But on cakes or cupcakes or brownies, they're awesome because they add like that texture.
That little bit of crunch.
That's right. That.
And that's another one trick pony. It's just decoration.
Yeah, I know. Like
there's not much else to do with it.
Yeah, no, because the word decorate, you can also, or decorated can mean like a decorated like military person.
Ah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but that's the let's just go with like decorate, decoration, decorated.
Yeah, however you want to use it.
Yeah. Yeah, because decoration it feels very limiting actually.
It does.
But point, level, and beef.
Yeah.
Those are flexible as hell.
Them is multifaceted.
Yeah. Like
Biff.
Diamonds in the rough.
Diamonds in the diamonds in the diamonds.
3 in a row. We're going to keep the chain going.
Diamonds in the diamonds. Biff. Biff.
Okay, so those words again: point, level, monopoly, beef, and decoration. And if you want to be like these wonderful writers and submit your story to You Write, head on over to our subreddit at reddit.com/r/YouWritePod.
If you're unable to submit a story this week, that's fine. You can still help out by reading and commenting on the stories of others.
Each time you post a story or leave a comment, you increase your chances of having your story read on the podcast.
You can also reach us at yourwritepod@gmail.com.
And if you like our show and want to help support us, consider donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/YouWrite. Admittedly, I have not checked in on our Patreon since I set it up like a while ago.
What? Wait. Are you serious?
But the reason why is Patreon is being a little bee right now.
Oh.
And I cannot log into it.
What if we're like zillionaires?
I'm sure that's true.
They could be.
Yeah. We're just all that money is just sitting in there. It's really unfortunate.
Gathering cobwebs.
I have gone. I emailed them like 3 weeks ago to begin this recovery process to get this account back because something is just wrong. Like I cannot get into our account. Nope.
Oh wow.
Can't do it. So actually, you know what? Password? Don't go to patreon.com/YouWrite. Just hold on. Just hold on for a little bit.
Just DM us and we'll give you our address and mail it directly.
Yeah. Edible arrangements are appreciated.
So much. Do they have cookie ones still?
I'm sure, yeah. I
want cookies and fruit.
Okay. Yeah.
I want sugar cookies and strawberries and blueberries and blackberries.
Okay.
If you are unable to donate, that's fine. You can help us by sharing the podcast with other writers and even non-writers.
And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you know as soon as new episodes are available.
Also, be sure to leave us a rating and review in your podcatcher of choice.
We will be reading one review on every single episode.
As well.
Like this one. So get creative.
And remember, join us next week on You Write,
a podcast where you write.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And a vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.
In restless dreams I walked alone.
Narrow streets of cobblestone.